right, man. We are on for another episode of Sports Talk Unfiltered. Where we coming in to talk all the sports all the time, man. We got a lot to talk about today. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, what's
Going
good
on?
in the
What's good?
neighborhood?
Man,
Am I
all right,
delayed tonight
Mike.
too?
You said what? How? No, you're not delayed tonight, baby. You sound good.
You right on time, Howard. Right on
You
time.
right on time. You right on time.
But
All
you
right.
upgraded to 5G.
Okay,
What you say, Tone? Forget
You
you, man.
upgraded to five. You upgraded to 5G.
No, man. I don't know what be going on, bro. I don't know. Well, you know I got 5G in the house, so I don't know.
No, man.
all right.
It
Well,
does what it do.
let's get into it. The big news, man. Right now, we're talking about this James Harden man situation with the NBA. He is basically requesting to get out of Philly, and he's doing it in a demonstrative way. He was in China holding an event, and he had some things to
You a
say
liar.
about 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 that. We take a quick listen. We come right back and talk about it.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
Man, he said something
Did
right
y'all did
there.
y'all hear? Let me say it again.
Yeah, yeah. He not only
Let
did
me
he
say
say
it
it,
again.
but he
Repeated
said,
it.
"Listen, I want y'all to understand that
Right.
Darren Moore is a liar, and he'll never play for an organization he's part with
I
again."
think
All right,
he
what's your thoughts on that, fellas?
I think he needed to give us more information. I mean, just to come out and just say he a liar. Tell us what he's lying about. What's the problem? What's the deal? Because that right there, to me,
You are.
it just made him look unprofessional. The same old James Harden when he don't want to be with the team anymore. Do whatever it takes to get out. That's what this is now.
So you think that um he's just really want out, and he's just saying anything to get out.
Right. I mean, he didn't back anything up. What was the lies about? That's
How?
all he told us. He's a liar.
Well, we already know what the lie is about. The lie is
But no,
about that they were going to trade him to the Clippers. The whole thing of the matter is they're not getting anything in return for James Harden, and they're not going to let him go over there, and they lose everything. They
No.
lose. Well, I ain't gonna say they lose anything because they ain't been winning nothing anyway. But I'm just still saying it don't make them. They make them a worse team without James Harden. It might make them better. Who knows? I don't know. Because Tony don't like James Harden dribble the ball, dribble, 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 and then with 2 seconds left pass. Who? But
Hey, listen.
I think it's. I think he just man. He wants to get out of Philly. He definitely does. He wants to get out of Philly, and I think it was told to him during the summer time when things were, well, springtime, after the fall or whatever. I don't know, man. After the winter, but he just wants to. I don't know, man. Something is
Man, this
wrong.
is a
That's the way I
business,
feel about it.
man.
Something is wrong with
This ain't
James
no
Harden. Some I
schoolyard
get that, E, but
playground.
I'm still. I get that, E, but
Y'all
still, he should have never signed the daggone $36 million contract. How about that?
Bam, there you go,
Okay,
right
Tony,
all
there.
go ahead.
right. Y'all want to know what the
Go ahead,
lie
Tony.
was? Okay. So here's the reality. Both James Harden and Daryl Morey are kind of trash. Meaning James Harden has done this several times before, and Daryl Morey shows no
Yep.
loyalty, and he it's his thing, right? He tried to control people. He's overruled Elton Brand so many times with the things that he's trying to do or whatever. So what the lie was, it wasn't about this summer. It wasn't about the Clippers. It was about last year when they said, "Hey James, we won't give you a full deal. We'll give you a 1+1. You take less money this year. We can sign PJ. We can sign Daniel House, which they lost draft picks by the way for tampering, and then next year we'll renegotiate and give you that full
Max. Okay.
max.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
so
Gotcha. Gotcha.
when all of this went down, James is like, all right, where's this talk about the full max? What's going on with this? There was no more talk about the full max. They were trying to give him the same year, the deal that Kyrie got, like 3 years, 162, something like that in that area. Um, and so, or 132, somewhere in that area. Anyway, that ain't the max, right? So you took money out of
No.
my pocket and years out of my pocket before. Then this year, you was like, okay, well, we can't give you the full max, but we'll work to trade you. I don't want to go anywhere except the Clippers. Here's where I think Daryl Morey is terrible as a GM. Because if you feel like Maxey is your point guard of the future, which is why you don't want to max out James, you would be better off from the Clippers. You don't even have to take a lot. You take Man, you take Powell, and you take one of those expiring contracts from either Covington or Nick Batum or Morris to make the money match up. And you, at that point, if you get any picks, you're good. But they would be better with a combination of three players. It strengthens their bench. Man gives them that hustle and shoot that they'd be looking for. Powell is a scorer. They would just be a better team. But Daryl Morey has an ego. Daryl Morey feels like he has to win and blow up and get everything and he's not that. He messed up when he signed and he gave Ben Simmons that contract. He messed up when he let James Harden get Doc Rivers fired, and he's making bad decisions. And he's trying to save face. So I wouldn't want to go stay with Daryl Morey. And what they really need to be worried about is Joel Embiid making a stink. So how can
I was going to
Joel
say
make
the same.
how can Joel make a stink? Oh yeah, he can go out there and play. He already got his MVP, so now all he needs is a title. Jokic got his MVPs and then got a title. So now Embiid chasing Jokic not only with another MVP but with a title. And so what he need to worry about Embiid, oh man, this knee, oh man, that ain't 2 games. This might be like 10. Yeah, I'm gonna be, and no, I'm not re-signing when I come back here. You can do whatever you want, so you might as well trade. And
Elliot, go
they
ahead, go
need to
ahead, go
fire
ahead, Tony.
Daryl Morey. I'm just saying they need to fire
Ooh,
Daryl Morey.
fire Daryl.
They
Well,
need
I don't
they
know if that's
nah
gonna.
no he hasn't done anything to build a team. Everything that was on the team was there when he got there. He has added nothing except he drafted Maxey. He chose Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. That was a boss move, right? Come on, man. He need to be fired.
So let me ask you something, Elliot. Do you think James Harden is being unreasonable after hearing what Tony just said?
Man, I still think he's being unreasonable. And at the end of the day, it's a business. At my job, if I'm not productive, I'm not producing. I know it. I know what he told him, Tony. I know what he said. This is what I want to do. This is what I try to do. This is the
Now he ain't
plan.
say try, bro.
It's a
That ain't what he
business.
said.
If you
That ain't
if
what he
you ain't
said, bro.
producing, if you ain't producing, you ain't putting up numbers. Ain't no championships being won. Come on. At the end of the day, I
Hey,
got to
bro.
do what's best for the organization.
Hey, bro. You know what
I
you
understand what you're
getting.
saying. He feel like he got to
You
win, and he
you
might.
know.
But at the same time, James ain't giving him room for an argument. To me, he's not.
And man, James Harden could still, as much as I don't like watching his game, he could still be a close to 30 point a game scorer if you let James Harden play the way
But
that
he's
James
not
Harden play.
consistent, Tony. He's not.
It ain't no, he's
He's
not
not
consistent
playing
because
anymore. He's not
he's
the
he
old James.
nah man.
James.
See, I
James
need
is
you to
gone.
watch
We
more
have
than
to
I
build.
need you to watch more than a box score, bro. What James
How?
Harden do now is
I
he
got the
come down.
pass, league pass, Tony.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with James Harden's game. He has no other game other than ball in his hand, right? He cannot play off the ball, or he chooses not to. Maybe I believe he has the ability to do because he's a basketball player. But all he wants to do is dribble, 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 and make the
Right,
play.
and no
He
defense.
he wants to make you know what? Stop listening to ESPN and stuff like that. If you really look at it, James Harden is not anywhere near as bad a defender as people say he is. As a matter of fact, they were about to lose to Oklahoma City in the playoffs in Houston, and Lou Dort goes up for a three, and James Harden comes from inside the three-point line and blocks it. James Harden can play defense, and he does play defense. Can he guard Steph Curry? Can he guard Kyrie
Tony,
Irving?
Well, I
he
No,
get
disagree with
because
that,
lucky
nobody
Tony.
else
and
can.
block
Hold on,
Howard
Tony. Hold
shot
on,
every
Tony.
now
You
Tony,
and
can't
again.
I
go
disagree
ahead,
with that,
Howard.
Tony.
Well, you said go ahead,
I
Howard. Why?
disagree with that, Tony.
Man, y'all
I
need to
will
watch
say
basketball.
this: the point you made, he has gotten better. He's gotten a
Right,
little better, but
right.
No.
he's not predicated to be a defender. He's
Correct.
not. That ain't what he's going to do.
But who is?
Yeah,
Is Kyrie?
that's not what he's leaning on.
Is Kyrie?
Who?
Is Steph? Is Kyrie Irving? Is Steph? Is so there are players
Well,
that are not,
There's effort.
Kyrie's defense has even
I'm
gotten
not
better.
saying they
they've
right. I'm
gotten
not
better.
saying
Real
they
talk.
top defenders in the league, but they do make an effort.
And
And not
man,
They
only
ain't
y'all
that,
never
don't.
Tony,
make no effort,
you
man.
can't take one play from OKC 7 years ago
No,
to
no,
defend
it
your
won't.
One
point
play.
that he's a defender. I mean,
It was no.
you
No, no,
can't do
no.
that.
I didn't say. I didn't say he was a defender. I'm saying he's no longer that straight liability that he's being. He's not Trey Young on defense.
Yeah, I know,
You
but you
can't.
can't.
Just as
You
bad.
can't.
But I mean,
No,
I
Just as
understand your
bad,
argument,
Tony.
but you can't
He
use
close.
OKC
he
He
is nowhere
close.
near
close out
close.
on 3 point
Howard.
He
Howard.
same
is.
eight
Howard.
years ago. You
He's
can't do
not
that.
close. As a matter of
I
fact, he's
love
a bet.
James,
He's
but
gotten
he
better,
can't
He's a
play
man.
any
he's
defense.
no. He's
He's
a
gotten
better
better.
defender.
He's
He's
gotten
a
better.
better
He's gotten better.
defender when they switch him on the pick and roll because the big man can't push him around. Whereas then if you put
Howard,
Trey in a pick and roll,
he hadn't gotten better. He
He
just
has not.
has never been as bad as they said he was.
correct. That's
But
what
he
I'm
really,
saying.
yeah,
So
yeah, he
you
really ain't
you
gonna get
can't
better.
put him in the same category as Trey Young defensively. And if you saying that,
He really
you ain't
close to
watching
it.
at all. He is nowhere near close. Trey Young is the worst. Last year he was the worst defensive player in the last
I
15
agree. He
years in the
was.
NBA. James Harden ain't even close to being a worst defensive player statistically in the NBA now. Whereas in Trey Young is the worst
He
statistically in the last 15 years. Come on, man. Ever since they
okay. I
started
take.
advanced metrics, ever since they began advanced metrics, Trey Young is the worst defensive player ever. I
He
know I'm
is.
not qualified in the
I
NBA,
agree.
but I bet I could play better defense than Trey Young.
You probably can play better defense than Harden too, though.
No, man. No,
I bet you
no,
can,
man.
Tony.
No,
Yeah, I
man.
bet you can too.
You
I
can't.
bet you can too.
You better stop putting yourself down, Tony, because you probably could play better defense than James Harden. Because he
I
really,
believe you
you think
can.
about it,
Hey man,
he
that
really
dude is
never
like
played
almost
defense.
six
Now
six.
you might
He's
cannot
almost
dribble as
six
much as
six with
James
a.
Harden.
Hey
Nah, man,
man,
but
the
we not
dude.
now. You won't now. You can never be as tall as him. I mean, yeah,
Right.
we know
And
he's
that's what I'm
6'6" now.
saying. So sometimes his defense is made just by his size and length. Like he can bother shots. He's not getting beat to the hole nearly as much as he used to be. And when you put him in that pick and roll and you put a big guy on him that's going to try to back him down, he can stand his ground because he's a lot stronger than people think that he is. And
Well,
trust me,
Tony,
I am not a James Harden
he's
So
fan.
can he? He
I'm
can
mad
guard
that y'all
Morant.
making me sit here and defend James Harden
You
like I
you
like
you
him.
think he
But
can?
the truth is the truth.
well, you shouldn't.
He cannot guard
You
Ja.
shouldn't.
He can't even guard Trey Young.
Who can guard Josh? Are you serious?
Dude.
Right.
Are you
I'm trying.
serious?
That's
Who
what
Nate
defense.
okay. Outside
Hey,
of
hey, E. That was a bad example,
yo,
E.
come
That
on,
was a bad
man.
example. E. That was a bad
Come
That
example.
was a
on,
real
man.
bad example,
That
E.
was a bad example. We not saying he
That
Jordan.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We not saying that. All right,
This
so but
dude, man.
Yeah,
unreasonable
that was
though.
bad
So Howard, do you think James Harden is being unreasonable though? Elliot seems to think that it's your profession. You
example.
come if you haven't been producing, these are the results you get.
Well, it is because if if he I don't know what went on behind closed doors. All I know is he signed the contract. So therefore, what what else there's left to do? You got to play your contract out now. Or he done made so much money he might not have to do that. So I don't know. The way he's saying it,
Well, hey,
man,
was he
he
a
trying
free
to make
agent?
them.
He could have been, but he opted in.
He could have been.
This is
He
all his
opted in.
fault.
Well,
So
let me ask
so
you a question,
yes,
Tony.
he is
Explain
unreasonable.
that.
All right. So last year he was an unrestricted free agent. He signed
Right.
a 2-year deal with a player option on the second year, which was this year. So
Right.
he had
This
until
year.
two days before the free agency period to either opt in or
Right.
opt out. He
Opt out.
thought he
Right.
was he thought he was going to Houston, but word was getting around that Houston wanted Fred VanVleet. Houston is not set up to win right now. They want to train young guys. They want to get young guys playing. So they need a facilitator that's going to help those guys. James Harden is going to be about James Harden, and those guys are not going to be able to develop. Fred VanVleet can play off the ball. He played beside Kyle Lowry. He knows how to play off the ball. James Harden chooses not to play off the ball. So the
So
only free
why did he
agency place
sign
that he
in
had,
then?
because the only place he could go to get the money was Houston, and they decided they didn't want him. There was no other team that had cap space, so you could go over the cap to re-sign your own guys. He was going to be going to a new team, which meant they had to have, if he signed a $45-50 million a year, they had to be $50 million under the salary cap. There
But
was
I
only
thought he
two
wanted
teams
to
that could
re-sign with Philly originally.
to get the full max. That's what Daryl Morey was lying
To get
about.
the max.
He didn't give him his
Right.
max. And so when
Okay,
he was
so he
like,
would have
no,
stayed if Daryl Moore would have
he
gave
would have
him
stayed.
full max. He would have been happy in Philly.
The same thing
We wouldn't
Kyrie
have been
did
talking about
in
none of
Brooklyn.
this.
Exactly. The same thing Kyrie did in Brooklyn when he went to them and started talking about the full max, and they were like, well, no, let's just wait and see. And they start playing. He was like, nah, Cap, I ain't even, no,
Kind of
get me.
different though. It's kind of different
No,
because
it ain't.
it seemed. Well, the reason I say it's different, Tony, because in the Brooklyn situation, the way the Kyrie did them, it was almost like we not giving you the max. It
Correct.
seems like to me that James Harden is saying y'all
That's
said y'all
true.
was gonna give me the max.
No, they said they was going to give Kyrie the max until
No,
Kyrie
they
started
never
acting
because
up.
Kyrie was holding out. Remember all that? Kyrie was holding.
No,
He
no, no,
was sitting.
no. They offered him the max first, but they offered him the max on an extension. So when they offer you a max on an extension, you can only get a percentage raise of what you're already making. So like let's say you still have 2 years left on your contract and they want to extend your contract. You can't go from making $15 million to $45 million. You can only get like a 20, I think it's maybe like a 20% raise. So if you were only making 15 million, the max you could go to next is like 18 to 20 million. So what Kyrie wanted to do is wait until he became a free agent so that he could get the full max. So it wasn't an extension, it was the full max. Because
Yeah, but they
remember,
never. But they was out. What was it that
nah,
Kyrie was doing that they was
when
like
him and
we
Jay,
not giving you the full max because we don't even know if you gonna play.
the vaccine
That's
first.
it. That was it.
So it was the vaccine first, and then
It was something else
when
though.
when they brought
The
him back
book.
with the vaccine,
The
it
book.
was the blow up. He did the Jewish thing, and then talking
The
about
book.
what I'm saying, the Jews, yeah, and
Yeah,
so
he read the book. He
that
didn't know
caused
what
a
he was
problem.
talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So I mean, that was. I think it's a little different. I don't think they ever told Kyrie
It
since
might have been for
the
different
whole.
reasons. It might have
Right.
been for different reasons, but it's the same
Right.
circumstance.
Gotcha. All
So
right.
Tony,
And
So
I'm
Kyrie,
curious.
and the reason why Kyrie didn't want to be a free agent, he wanted to be traded to somebody that had his bird that could have his bird rights so he could get that 5th year. But what happened is it didn't play out. He got to Dallas. He liked Dallas, but even though they had the bird rights, they wasn't giving him a full 5-year max. They were like, nah, I ain't doing that. So they gave him 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just sometimes when you play your hand and you lose, you just lost. And so Kyrie done left. And as a matter of fact, the contract that he got is less than the one that the Nets offered him at the start of last season before all this stuff started going down.
right.
He chose not to do it because he was like, I'm gonna control the options. I'm gonna see if y'all gonna put a team. You ain't LeBron. You can't say I'm gonna wait and see if y'all gonna put a team around me, and if y'all don't, I'm gonna just go somewhere else because just about everybody will open their books to sign LeBron. Kyrie ain't got that kind of power.
All right. So we go down the line.
Makes sense.
Unreasonable. We think James Harden is unreasonable. Elliot
Yes, I'm reasonable.
Howard.
Only because he signed the contract.
Now
He put it on himself.
it ain't even about the contract for me. It's unreasonable because of the way he's going about handling it.
Yep.
Because You are
I
All
a
right,
mean,
you have
just so
you
let's
have
let's listen to this again. Some of the people just got on. We'll see what they're talking about.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
Man, that's big, man.
mm. Let me say it again. That
I like to
reminds me of
see
the
Howard go
Quartet
to work
songs,
and do
Howard.
that.
Hey
Go
Howard,
to
that
work and
sounds like
try
a
that in the
quartet.
morning, Howard.
uh,
That sounds like a quartet song where he want to sing the verse again.
what'd you say, Elliot?
I want Howard to go to work and try that in the morning.
Well, first of all, he won that work.
he
He
was
was
on
in
tour.
China.
And maybe
Yeah,
showcasing the shoes or something. I don't know.
This
and here's the difference. Here's the difference. Howard can go to work in Virginia and he can say something outside of work and they can let him go because it's an at-will state. Howard doesn't have a contract that's guaranteed that says I can say whatever I want. As long as it don't qualify as conduct detrimental, it is nothing you can do about my money. You can't do nothing until I start. What I'm trying to do right now is make you look bad. I am trying to blow up the spot. And Joel Embiid immediately took the 76ers off his social media, and now it's causing real problems. It's making Daryl Morey look bad. And if the owners had any kind of common sense, they would go ahead and just eat whatever else they owe him and get rid of him now.
All
Because
right, well,
Elton
that
Brand
brings to
was
the
the one
point.
who orchestrated the Butler with Tobias with Joel Embiid, and they had a squad that had they kept that together, they could have been something.
Well, Tony, you brought it up a little bit, but that was my next point: is does this situation affect the Joel Embiid and how he's kind of looking at the Philly right now? What do you guys think, Elliot?
Most definitely. Go ahead, E.
I'm trying to figure out when we say affect how we're saying it on the court, off the court,
No, I mean as
on the
far as
court. I
him
mean, I
wanting to
really
stay
think
in
they need to
Philly.
get rid of him.
You think
I
they need to
really
get
think
rid
he
of
need
who?
to move Harden. I think his time is gone. I think he's a problem for the team. He's not helping anymore to me.
Well,
I'm not saying he can't
we
play.
know he's
I'm
a
not saying he
problem
can't
now.
play. But
Whenever you
I just
He's
call,
don't
more
think
than a
he'll
problem,
fit.
man.
He he's not gonna be the answer to hanging a banner next year. I think they got a
all
better
right,
shot without him.
I agree.
And which mic is wrong? I just saw that. Which mic is it? My mic that sound bad?
no, that was me.
They say Bishop
Oh,
sound
okay,
like he far
Yeah,
away.
that was me, and I am. It's better. It should be better now. I'm closer to the mic.
okay, okay. Well, let me say this: multiple things can be true. Number one, James Harden is still an All-Star caliber player. Number
Ho
two,
ho ho
J-
ho 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 ho. All star?
James Harden is still an All-Star caliber player. James Harden showed them when Joel Embiid was out and they needed to play. The dude scored 42
That's
points and
the
they beat the
only
team.
time he played, Tony. That's the only
Elliot,
time he played.
Elliot,
We got
Elliot,
84 games.
Elliot. Coaching and game plan matters. Okay? It matters how the team is constructed and how you're supposed to play within a system. I'm telling you, man,
So
anybody,
he can pick and
I would
choose the games he want to
I would
participate
say,
in.
Elliot, I would go as far as to say there are a minimum of 50 players in the NBA that if you gave them the ultimate green light, they could average 30 points. If you're not worried about efficiency, if you're not worried about getting everybody else in the game, you're just giving one person the ultimate green light. I believe there are no less than 50 players in the league that could average 30. Average, not score 30 on a given night, average 30. James Harden is still definitely one of those players.
No, not
The
anymore,
only
Tony.
hey dude, man,
Night
you can
in,
say
night
what you
out.
want to. Night
Night in,
in,
night
night
out.
out, he can give you that because you know why? He's gonna do exactly what you said and take a rest on defense. So he got all his energy to go down and dribble, and either score or go to the free throw line. That's what he does. He's been doing it since he's been in the league. The reason why he didn't
And
start
how
in
many
OKC,
championships has he
the
won
the
since he been in
reason,
the league?
dude, there you go with this championship stuff, man. This is talking about this dude playing, dude. You have no wins, but you always want to put everything on anyway. So multiple things can be true at the same time. Yes, he's an all-star caliber player. Yes, he is bad for the Sixers and he should be traded. But yes, Daryl Morey is a problem. He has been a problem ever since he's been a GM. He cares nothing about chemistry. He said chemistry means nothing. Dwight Howard did not. Chris Paul and James Harden didn't like each other, but he said statistically they should work. So he put them on the team together. It's he doesn't care about. He
Actually,
is
Tony,
not a
that
great.
did work. I believe if
It,
Chris Paul didn't get hurt, I think they would have
no,
beat the Warriors.
Chris Paul was miserable.
I
Chris
agree.
Paul, they don't
I
call
agree.
him the point guard for nothing. Chris Paul was relegated to a spot up shooter, a spot up shooter,
And they would have
and
beat. And do
hold
you
on,
think they
and
would have? Do
Daryl
you think
Morey,
they would have beat the Warriors if he hadn't got hurt?
no,
How do
let's
you
not
figure
act like
that?
Yes.
the Warriors weren't
Yes,
hurt
they would have.
too. The
I
Warriors
think
were
so
hurt
too.
too. If you take both
Okay.
teams
So
at full health,
but that's not the question. Is if all teams were healthy. I'm talking about that series. If Chris Paul don't get hurt, they don't beat the Warriors.
I think they would have. I think they
I
would have.
think they take
I
them.
don't
I
know.
really do.
And the reason why
I think
the
they would
reason
have.
why I don't know is because they offense didn't run any different with James Harden in the game. The only difference was instead of it being a Daniel House over there posting up, spotting up for a three, it was Chris Paul spotting up for a three. Because they wouldn't let Chris Paul couldn't run the offense until James Harden was on the bench. And so if that's the case, I don't know that it would. I still think the Warriors had enough that they would have pulled it out. But toss up, they would have lost when they got to the finals, regardless of who they
I
played.
know, but if you
So,
get to the Tony, but you the man that talk about that rings don't
no,
mean
according to
everything.
Elliott, it's only championships that matter, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying though, if they get, I mean, I understand what you're saying about Moore being bad, but to make the point that Chris Paul and
No, no,
James
no.
Howard didn't work,
What I'm
I don't think
what I'm saying is
that's a fair statement.
no. What I'm saying is they had the team already around him playing the way they wanted to do it. But Daryl Morey doesn't have what it takes because it takes more. Teams win, not a bunch of individuals. Teams win championships, and all he cares about is a bunch of individuals. So I think all of it, and the fact is, Daryl Morey has burnt his bridge with Joel Embiid. Now, the only thing that's going to save Joel Embiid is if another star decides that he's pissed off with where he is. Another team decide that we want to do
Or
a
if Maxi
complete.
rise to the James level.
Yeah, yeah, but it's still so. If Maxi rise to the James level, then you're taking away Maxi with James. You understand what I'm saying? We're hard. So it's like you still only getting one player. They need another one.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
it's not and PJ Tucker really to me is the biggest reason why they didn't win it last year. If he was the PJ Tucker from Miami, I think the Sixers win the title. But
I wouldn't
they
say
would
that.
people were leaving PJ Tucker open because he was shooting his worst 3-point percentage in his career. He was very bad, and then he was no longer a defensive stopper. He used to be. The fact is, people get old. Father Time is undefeated, and so making that
As
move,
James
everything
Harden.
to get everything that they did to get PJ Tucker and to do all of that, it was all a bad move. It was all a bad move. It's what made him lie. All of that. So yes, this
What?
is affecting Embiid. It's affecting and it's all Daryl Morey's fault. But yes, James Harden is still overreacting.
Howard, you was gonna say something.
Well, Tony went ahead with his soliloquy, so I might as well just say three words. Yes, it's going to affect them. Period. It's going to affect them. Yes, they're not going. It. I tell you what. Even with this team with Harden there, they're not going to win no title.
Mm-mm,
Not doing it.
mm-mm.
No.
I don't know though.
It's been proven. They proved it last year.
Nick Nurse to me is a better coach than Doc is now.
Listen, Doc said James Harden is one of the. I'm gonna just say it like this. He is one of the hardest players to ever to coach,
Yeah,
and you
Doc,
already
I
know what
missed
that
that.
means.
Doc said that.
yeah. He no what
Yes,
actually what he
you
said
already know what
was
that means.
he said he wished he could have had him younger when he had the energy to run off the screens and play off the
Yeah,
ball.
he did say
In
that.
other words,
Yeah.
that was a nice way of saying James Harden refuses to play off the when he don't have the ball in his hand, he's standing
There you
around.
go.
And that is a James Harden problem. It's the same James Harden problem I've been saying
Look, I
for the
got
last
a question. I
2
mean,
years.
I hate to beat the James on, but I mean, this is a good conversation. I got a question here. Why do the Clippers really not want him, or is Daryl Moore want too much for him?
Daryl Moore want too much.
He wants too much.
He
He wants too
he
much.
wants to get another team
Yeah,
involved. So he wants all young players that can. I mean,
and draft
he
picks.
wants he wants a superstar or somebody that's on a star level. But he's acting like he's trading to James Harden from 2018. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to get 2018 James Harden value for 2023 James Harden. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about he wants another superstar. He wants to trade for a Jimmy Butler caliber player or a Dame Lillard or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's just not going to happen. That
Well,
shows you can't build a team. You all about names.
what does he want from the Clippers? Or he's trying to get a third team involved.
He want to get a third team involved because he wants to star. So what he was trying to do is he was trying to parlay the Clippers stuff into something to trade to Portland for Dame. But the thing
Gotcha.
is, there's no way he'd be able to get Dame without giving up Tyrese Maxey. There's no way.
And they want to keep Tyrese Maxey.
Exactly. Because if you trade Tyrese Maxey, you back in the same boat with only two players that you can go to. And basketball
Right.
is a
Boy,
team sport.
If Tyrese went to Portland, boy, that was gonna be a nice team, young
Man,
team. Gonna be
no,
up
they
and
too
coming.
small. They would be too small. Maxey, Scoot, Anthony Simons, like all of these guys that they want to build around are all small guards. It's the reason why
But
Portland couldn't
Anthony
win
Simons would be
with
coming off
Dame.
the bench.
Yeah, no,
They still got
Anthony
their
Simons
center.
need to go to
They still got
Orlando.
they still got the boy from Detroit. I can't think his name. Uh, uh,
Grant, which they overpaid for.
Grant. They still
So
got him.
now, so now they got Grant, who they overpaid for. They still way overpaying Yusef Nurkic. Ain't nobody taking that contract. Nobody's taking that contract because he might be the second or third worst contract in the league because he stay hurt. So Portland is in a bad
I think they would be
situation.
good
They
with
got
him
to just wait for that to
if they
fall.
got Maxey.
They need to try to trade Anthony Simons to maybe like Orlando because they need a point guard. You trade Anthony Simons somewhere like that. You get a player, another young player that you can put in there, maybe get a Wendell Carter Jr. or something like that. Somebody that they could put alongside these young guys that they can grow with until Scoot becomes the dude that he's. Because to me, Shaden Sharp is going to be that dude on the squad. Shaden Sharp is that dude, man. And so when you got a Scoot Sharp backfield, 2 years from now, they're going to be real contenders if you can keep Grant, put some other players around him, like a nice big wing or something like that can play with him. That's like a 3-and-D type dude.
Real quick, are these trade demands, man? I was listening to a podcast with Dr. J was talking about how it's hurting the NBA, and he was specifically talking about trade demands where the players sign these extensions and then immediately want out because of something happens. Do you think that that's hurting the NBA, or do you think it's just player empowerment and this is just how the world is going? Elliot.
It's killing the NBA.
Yeah, it hurts the NBA, man. At the end of the day, these guys signing contracts and they should play them out. I mean that's what Dr. J did. That's what the Magic did. They want demanding after a year because something didn't go their way. They're unhappy. Now I don't want to play with this organization anymore, and they demanding a trade.
But the against that is they're saying, well, what happened when the team can trade the player when they sign a contract?
That's part
But
of being
no,
a
but
business, man.
yeah,
It's a
that part. So wait, watch this.
organization.
Watch this. So here's the
They have
thing.
that right.
You can't have it both ways as players, right? So
Explain that.
all right. So if you that dude and a team trades you to another team, if you're that dude, that other team is gonna give you your money too. The problem is you can't go and sign a 5-year supermax deal just so you can get your money and then say go trade me. Unless you go to the team and say, "Hey, I'm not going to re-sign with you. I want you to sign me to a supermax deal," and like you work with the team. But you can't mislead the team, take the money, think that they're going to do it, and then come in and make a stink. Because here's the thing: fans are the reason why the game is where it is. Fans are the
Right.
reason. And fans already don't like the fact that these people make more money than they can dream of. They got players that have more zeros than they have in their own dreams. And so now you take the fact that they make all of this money and then they get up and whine and complain about the dumbest stuff. And you know what? It's really being done because of people like Elliott that think only rings make you successful. So now all the media talk about the
Put people in the
championship,
stands,
championship,
Tony.
championship. What?
That's what put people
No,
in the stands.
basketball. It
Championship.
is. It is not. You want to know why it ain't what's in the stands? Because while the Lakers were trash, they were still selling out. Why?
When?
Because they're the
Hold on. When was
Lakers.
the Lakers trash, Tony? Lakers ain't never been trash. What you talking about?
Are you serious?
I mean, help me out. Help me out. Trash. The
Before
Lakers
they
been
I
got
mean,
trash.
LeBron,
I understand about the trade, man. I mean,
Before.
the player. I'm
No,
just.
I mean,
How is it hurt?
I
Somebody
can't
asked,
take that
how
one,
is it
Tony.
hurting the
no.
NBA?
This is what I'm saying. When fans start to turn off and they don't want to watch it because they're dealing with in their mind a bunch of big babies, they don't
That's
like
what they
what's
dealing
going
with.
on. Then
Right.
no.
Right.
What I'm saying is some
Right.
fans feel that way, and when the fans start
What
to
Absolutely
turn it
right.
off, when they start to turn it off, and they're not getting those ratings, and they trying to sell those commercials, and they can't sell them
Let
commercials,
me ask you a
and
question.
then
How do you think? Why do you think fans are turning it off?
it
Go
ain't gonna
ahead.
happen.
no,
What ain't
they
gonna
have
happen?
The
already.
fans look,
Oh, it
listen,
will
Yeah,
happen,
I don't
though.
agree.
Hey
Huh?
Howard,
What'd you say?
man.
I agree. That
When
will
when
happen.
when you are
We're not gonna keep watching and
when
this
you
type of stuff is going on. They're allowing it. No.
You mean hold on. You are a
hold up,
Commanders
you doing it
fan.
now.
I mean, you got a bright red helmet behind you on the broadcast. This been like 20 years and you die hard.
no. But
Why
the
do you
people,
figure
here's the
a
thing.
fan ain't gonna stay?
No. Here's the thing. No, hey, no. So the Commanders got cheap seats because their season tickets ain't sold out right now. But
Hey,
anyway,
they ain't cheap.
No, dude. I no.
Oh yeah,
They're
you
Dude. I
very
can.
just
cheap.
Yeah, you
got
can. Right
no,
now,
dude.
They're very cheap.
I can catch
You
a
can get
My
my
Uber.
seat
homeboy,
for
my homeboy got
$103 a
ticket,
piece.
season tickets. They
Yeah,
cheap.
they stay cheap. I can right now. I
They
can
cheap.
catch a Uber, eat at a restaurant, and sit on the 50-yard line for like $200. Right now for the for that game
But no,
for that
but
You
game.
talking about the
I can
Richmond
direct
no.
play.
Commanders? That's the Richmond
So
Commanders,
so
Bishop.
so
Not
so
the
No,
here's the
Washington
thing.
Commanders.
You say fans won't turn it off after
no.
the last lockout. After the last lockout, when they missed those first games, it took them 3 years to get back to the ratings that they had before the lockout because people were
Yeah, that's a
upset.
lockout. We talking about one
No,
player, a
no, no,
couple
no, no,
players.
no.
No,
No,
that's
it's
different.
not. It's
That's
not
different.
one player. It's what it is when you start. There was a saying that there's no such thing as bad publicity. That any publicity is good. No, man. After a certain number of people, because the diehards are gonna be there. But when you've upset the casual fans, because it ain't enough diehards to get that $9 billion contract, TV contract.
Dude,
So it's the
the
picking up
only
of the casual fans to get them that TV deal.
the only way that this will go awry is the only way that it'll go awry, and it ain't gonna be because we gonna watch it. Period. Us four up here, we gonna watch it. And E, you might well say the same thing. You said it hurt.
Ooh.
No, it won't, because you gonna watch it. Period.
Yes,
You're gonna
Uh,
watch it.
you gonna
This is
watch
one
it.
of the, this is two of the greatest sports on this earth. It's basketball, football, and basketball. We're going to watch it.
You gonna watch
Hands down.
Bro,
We're gonna
Howard,
watch it.
I hear you. How I hear you. I didn't see maybe 4 Broncos games in the last 3 years.
But you still watched it.
Nah, man.
You
it. Yeah,
What
might
I'm
not
but
have
you
saying
watched it all
is,
yeah, but you
season,
ain't
but you
yeah
watched
right.
it.
But you watching football though.
no, no,
You ain't
but
got away from
nah,
football, are
no.
you?
Paula would tell you there were times where I would come home from church and I would park on my seat and my league pass, and I'm flipping through games. I find the game that I want to watch, and I'm not getting up till after the Sunday night game goes off. I use the bathroom, get something else to eat, get a snack and drink, and that's it. I'm sitting there the whole time. But it just and then the NBA completely fell off because I for one, I hate the way they play now. I hate the dribble, dribble, dribble. It was too much James Harden and not enough moving the ball like the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? So I lost interest if the Warriors weren't on, and I would watch LeBron play because I like the way he play. He makes the right play. Other than that, it's not as entertaining anymore. And so they
Yeah,
need to
but
go
but the
back to
TV
playing
contracts are
basketball.
still going up.
No, they're going up
I
because
mean,
no,
I mean,
no, they are going up. Number one, they about to even get some more money when they add these two new teams, and then because they get two new markets. But it's it took them a while to get there. That first TV contract that they got after the lockout was nowhere near what it is now. Like it's like night and day.
yeah, but I mean, the NBA is man,
Well,
they
the
a
times
global.
change.
Yeah, the times shit. Right, that's
Yeah,
another
times
thing.
change, man.
The
Inflation.
times change. I mean,
Times
stuff
change,
is
Tony. You
different,
already know
man.
that.
Yeah, and then there's
Yes.
so
I think it's
much.
hurt,
No, there's so much competition. There's
and
so
then they
much
need to shut
things to
up and dribble.
watch, man. There's
Hey,
so
this
much
isn't
thing.
this is the case where shut up and dribble applies. Right now,
And
when
then
it
two,
when
and
it
then two, see, and then two, these
You
demands,
know.
it only like 4 or 5 people that can do that in the NBA. Everybody can't
right,
do what Kevin Durant do as far as signing a contract and ask for a trade. It ain't but like
right,
4 or 5 players.
yeah, they
Is
need
that
to
not a
That's
keep that
true
true.
stuff,
statement?
but they need to keep that stuff in house,
That's
man.
true.
Because all it does is it actually did hurt Kevin Durant's Q rating. Like people don't like Kevin Durant. That and the fact that
I
he
like
got the burner accounts and
it. Ain't
stuff
hurt
like that.
nothing.
No, but
Yeah,
what
a
up?
lot of stuff is with Kevin Durant. A lot of stuff is
But
is
Yeah,
people
we
don't
already knew
like
that.
James Harden. He has a reputation. You don't want to be the person to have a reputation of continuing to take the team's money and then ask to be traded because you aren't happy.
I mean,
Like,
evidently
And then don't
he
bring no
don't care.
championships there.
yeah, yo, you right. You say he don't care, but guess what? He'd have cost himself $100 million not caring.
Yeah, but that's after he
He'll
done
be all
made
right.
300, 400. Yeah, he don't man.
But
He don't care.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
nah,
He'll
bro.
be all right.
He'll be all right.
With this new money that they got, because remember, this contract didn't come to the Warriors. That's that year that the Warriors were the cap spike like that. The money that they gonna have over the next 3 to 5 years, man, dude, Dame Lillard
Oh,
last
it's
year he
buku
gonna make
money.
almost $70 million his last year on that contract, bro. Come on,
Listen,
man.
listen.
Come on.
James
James
Harden
Harden
just
missed out
signed
on
in.
all
He
of that.
just signed. He signed in for 35 million, and I guarantee you,
35, hold on.
when listen,
35, he would have had 50 last year and 55 this year. He messed himself up already in 2 years. Even with the contract that he had, he done cost himself $30 million. Now the
why do
cap
you
is
say?
going
Why
up
do you
even
say? Why do
more.
you say he cost himself?
Because okay, so no, first of all, nobody's gonna give him that money now. Nobody. So Houston, who has been in the cellar since he left, they had a chance. He had a chance to do the same thing LeBron did. Ask out, I mean, sign somewhere else, let the other team get all the draft picks, get the young players, and then choose who you want to come back and play with,
But why
come
did he
back and do
cost
your thing
himself?
and win a
Why did he
title.
cost himself?
Because nobody's going to give him the money again. The same reason Kyrie cost himself by doing all the stupid stuff he been doing. Nobody's giving him a max
Yeah, but
deal anymore.
Kyrie don't look at it like he cost himself.
No, Kyrie losing sleep.
You think Kyrie losing sleep?
Man, listen, Kyrie feel like I gotta take what I can get. He did not
And
try to
what
go
was
out in
that?
that open mark. He basically getting like $40 million a year, 40-something million a year. Dude, hold on. Desmond Bain is getting what he got, and Desmond Bain is on the first, what they call the fun max, where it's not the full max, it's only the 30% max.
Yeah, but I think them guys
Wait,
they feel like they got control of their careers, and if they want to go somewhere else, they can go somewhere else. I don't think they look at it like they mixing up. I
go
think the
ask
only player
Desmond Bain I mean, go ask Kyrie Irving if you think him and Desmond Bain should be making the same money.
It
I'll
ain't
wait.
it ain't that they should be making the same money. It's just that I feel like he feels like even though I may not agree with him on some of the things that he done, I don't think he feel like he would do things any differently to make more money. I don't think
Yeah,
he
but
feels like he feels like whatever it is that he was doing, he was standing on whatever he was standing on. And if he lose money because of it, he lose money because of it. I'm just saying I
right.
don't think
So there you
that they
go. You
feel.
just said it. You just said it. If he lose money because of it, he cost himself money by what he was
Yeah, but
doing.
you're saying it as if he would do something different if he knew he could get more money.
Let me ask you a question right now. Do you personally, if you owned a team, do you feel like either James Harden or Kyrie Irving are max players?
I don't.
They cost themselves money by the
Yeah,
mess they've been doing over the last
but
couple of years.
yeah, but somebody's going. Yeah, but they don't look at
No,
it
if
like that.
somebody was going to give it to him, somebody would have given it to him this summer. They both had the opportunity to get it, but nobody was giving it to him.
We'll have this conversation. Next year
Wow.
when James Harden signed this big contract somewhere, and it may
Hey,
not be
hey,
50 million.
I need you to mark this and save this. And when next year James Harden signs a 3-year, $132 million deal, just like Kyrie did, meanwhile, other people are getting a 4-year, $260 million deal,
And
now
them
we'll have
guys
that
don't.
conversation.
And them guys don't. I don't think they feel like I left that money. I don't think they feel that way.
Dude,
Them
that's
guys.
100, bro. That's 100, bro.
I
That's
mean,
a
I
hundred
understand.
million.
I understand. But them guys, I don't think they feel that way.
Tough. That's
That's
tough.
100 million, bro. You
I
can
mean,
say
it
what
is.
you
I
want.
mean, it's tough. It's tough from four guys on a Tuesday night at 9 o'clock talking about sports.
Nah, man,
You
it
know what I'm
ain't
saying?
that.
It
It's
ain't
about the
tough for it
ego.
ain't tough for a guy who
Okay,
going.
okay. Watch this. Watch this. Since you want to say it ain't about the money. If it ain't about the money, why wouldn't every star player, once he made his bag, take less money to bring other star players in? Why wouldn't
I
everybody
mean,
take a
why
pay
would
cut?
I
Why would
mean? Let me
why
ask you
would
a question.
anybody
Let me
take a
ask you a
max?
question. Do you think it's about the money for LeBron?
Not for LeBron.
But he take the max every single time he up.
No, they
Every time.
he's
I
been
mean,
the
if he take less,
he's
it'd be
been
two,
the
three
no,
million less. It
he's been the second highest paid player since Anthony Davis signed his first
Yeah,
contract with
but
the
it ain't
Lakers.
because he ain't getting the max. It's because
It
Anthony Davis is
no,
just getting. It ain't because LeBron
no.
ain't getting
It's
it.
because LeBron is not taking the max.
Yeah, but he might leave. But yeah, Tony. But you act like he taking 2 million instead of 40 million. He might
No,
take instead of 40 million, he
he's
might take
taking
thirty
$5 million.
six million. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
taking
It's
$5
like
million
that.
less. No, no, no. I get it.
Yeah,
He's
but
taking
five
$5
million
million
dollars,
less.
$5 million less compared to what he could make
It's
is not
five
really.
dollars.
It's $5, right? It ain't like
$5.
he taking $30 million less. It ain't like he taking the minimum. What I'm saying is,
No,
it
he
ain't
he
about
got to take.
money.
But okay, but instead of making 50, you already a billionaire. So instead of making 50, why not wait? Why not make 25 and then give that extra money to get them
Yeah,
to
but
bring
who?
Dame
Yeah,
Lillard
but
in?
the owners don't do that.
But that's
They
my point.
billionaires.
That no,
They
no, no. Right,
billionaires. They
right, right.
don't. They don't
So,
take less
so
money on
no, no.
on
Watch
on their
this.
pocket so they can pay more.
Watch this. Now you're
That's right.
actually arguing the point that I was making. It's about the money, bro.
No, what
So
I'm
that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
No, what I'm saying is what I'm saying is you're trying to say that it's always about the money, and I'm saying LeBron, just because they take the money don't mean it's about the money. It just mean that just because I can don't mean I will. So
You know,
if
you
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 saying
know who it
LeBron ain't
won't
about.
about the money for? You know who the only player on record that it really wasn't about the money that I can remember taking a significant pay cut, and that's Tom Brady. Of everything that I dislike about Tom Brady, the one thing I can say is he was never even top five in quarterback salary. It wasn't
Well, he
about the
gonna go
money.
down in history, and his money gonna still be rolling.
Because it's not
The
about
goat.
whether you taking money and you keep it, you giving away money and making the owners rich. No, This is a salary cap league, which is there's a
It
max. This
is.
ain't baseball. If it was baseball, yo, go get
Right.
every dime you can. I don't care nothing about them owners' pockets. Get every dime you can. But this ain't baseball. This is a salary cap league. So it's not, it's how much of the team you want your
No,
salary
man.
to be.
No. Let them jokers pay the fine like the Warriors do.
Yeah, but it's still a hard
Salary
cap
cap
though.
or not, you can go over the
Oh,
cap.
oh, 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 but watch this. Golden State traded Jordan Poole. That won't just because of the punch in the face. That was
Man,
because
that
they
was
had to get
all
off of that.
because of the punch in the
No,
face.
it
That
wasn't,
was,
dude.
man,
Dude,
they
hold
traded
on, wait,
Jordan
wait, wait,
Poole.
wait. No, 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 no. Do you know Jordan Poole's contract next year? He would have made almost $40 million, but it would have cost them $120 million. Come on, man. That's
They got
crazy.
rid of Jordan Poole because they it could not work anymore on that team. The only reason they took Chris
They got
Paul was to get rid of Jordan Poole. They might trade
No,
Chris Paul later in
Jordan
the year.
Poole. Jordan Poole caused his own self to go out of there
it
when
won't
he
about
played
this
horrible
year.
this year.
It won't about
When he
this
played,
year. It's
it was
about
about this
next
year.
year.
It was
No,
it
no,
was
no.
about this.
I'm talking about the trade for that money because they taking Chris Paul money. It's
Oh,
all the same. The money problem ain't about this year.
I
It's
still say
about next year because Chris Paul ain't gonna be under contract next year. He's on the last year of his contract.
If Jordan
Jordan
Poole
Poole
had a
still got
played
4 years
well, if
left.
Jordan Poole had a played well, and Draymond Green didn't almost knock him out, he'd still be on the Warriors with the money. He still
still
be if he still
still
be
be
on the
there.
Warriors, he
He
still be
still
on.
be there.
They be paying all kind of
One
fines,
hundred.
and he'd be still there if he played well. They just felt like they didn't
He'll
need
be
him,
still there.
and he was bad. And then you hear how everybody talking about it now that he gone. They talking about it
Yeah.
like they couldn't get over that. Hey, look, somebody
He
asked in the
real. He
comments.
was
Let's
real
talk about
bad.
that real quick. We got a few minutes. It's five
Yeah,
minutes. I think it's a good
I
question.
just saw that.
Somebody
I
asked
just
in the
saw that.
comments, with affirmative action now struck down for college admission, should black athletes make an intentional move to the HBCUs? What you got on that?
Love it.
Nope. Yeah, love it. You can love it all you want to. It's a different ball game. So it's like
I mean,
it's the
of course it's gonna be for HBCU. It's gonna
no,
be
no,
a
no,
different
no.
ball game for them.
I'm talking about so the college experience, the workout. You remember the girls show at the NCAA tournament how the guys got this nice big old gym and all this equipment, and then they got some dumbbells over in the corner in the
It's small,
the
yeah,
little gym
yeah,
at the hotel.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Don't let Dion fool you.
That's almost the difference between any Division 1, PWI compared to the facilities that they have at HBCUs. And because of what Dion and Ed Reed and players like that have done, it has brought to light some of the corruption and what's being run at some of these HBCUs and how they're not handling their business right from an overall school. So they need to get their house in order. Me personally, I would love to see it happen. But what I'm saying is the HBCUs
Right.
got to get their house in order to be equipped to handle somebody coming in there. And the fact is, they're just not.
Elliot.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. I don't think they ready for this. We, I mean, we got to get our house in order, man. That's just all it is to it.
I mean, okay, what does that mean?
Did you see the
I
facilities
just
that
hate to
Ed Reed
see
was
it.
showing?
I just hate to see it. We're
Yeah.
just not there where these other top colleges are, man. Just not
So
ran the
when you
same.
when you have a program and you have somebody who makes a donation specifically to go to the athletic program, but the chancellors and presidents and everybody decide that they want to put it in another building or they want to put it into this and put it
Man,
into that instead of putting it
y'all know
into
what's
where
meant
it was
for us to
supposed to
be
go.
down like that anyway. Real talk.
Say that again, Howard.
It was meant for us to be down like that anyway. That's why we're not at that up there in that higher tier now. It's because of the way that we have been treated all these years. Y'all, come on, man. Real talk. That's the real deal behind that mess, man. And we never got the money. The money goes. Now you go to a Division 1 school, and you already know the money gonna be there. Then you go to one of the HBCU schools, even though we got some of them now that's Division 1s. Come on, man. Writing was already on the wall with that. They just trying to get, like you said, Tony. They got to try to get there. You say they got to get there. Yeah, they should already be there. But that's all I'm gonna say about that.
I mean, we're
A
talking
lot of
about
things have held them back.
dorms. We're talking about
A lot
dorms,
of things have held them back.
facilities, lunch, cafeterias, stuff like that. Like the whole thing. They're a long way. When you can go to North Dakota State and they have better facilities than than a Grambling or a Southern. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. That's like that some money needs to
But
go into upgrading these facilities.
who's man who Tone, who's manning those situations like that though? Who's manning that? Real talk. You know, you already know. That's like you. And then at the Division 2, in that Division 2 college,
One
three or
double
two,
A.
2 or 3,
One
one
double A.
double A,
So like what is it?
and they
FCS.
and their stuff is better than HBCUs.
They're FCS too. So they're technically in the same
It's right there
division.
on the. It's right there on the wall.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean,
Right there
so
on the
so you
wall.
saying they should just keep doing what they're doing, and I think the person in the chat was basically saying because the Supreme Court struck down affirmative action, so now is it a way to basically, okay, well, since y'all struck down affirmative action, we gonna now go to the HBCUs and do it that way. He's basically
I
saying
I get
not
it,
not for
but
the
Gotcha.
not for the fact that I get my chance to be better, but since you struck down
Right.
affirmative action, okay,
no,
well
no.
then we will
I
all go to HBCUs.
I get that,
Or you're
but what
saying,
we're
you're
asking,
saying, Tony, that sounds good in theory.
right, and we're asking these young kids who are out of high school looking to make an opportunity to change their family's history and trajectory forever. We're asking them to now be activists. We're asking them to potentially jeopardize their futures to make a point. I don't think we should be putting that pressure on an 18-year-old to go and be the one to, change the whole system or to protest against what the Supreme Court has done. That's all I'm saying. Especially now, if the HBCUs, it was just about exposure, then I would say, hey, look, you guys can bring the exposure to the HBCUs, but it's not about it. It's about the fact that you are lowering your quality of life, you're lowering your chances to be better, as well as the lack of exposure, and it's just too much to ask
Mm.
an 18-year-old who's trying to change his future for his whole family to make that sacrifice.
Elliot.
No, I agree, man. I mean, everything takes time, and it's gonna be there one day. But today is not the day. You gotta do what's best for them. I mean, they're just not gonna get the
Takes
same type of
time.
opportunities.
Man, it's
Now,
been long enough. You talking about take time. It's been long enough. Ain't no taking
It has been
time.
long enough, but we still got a long road to
Been
go.
long enough, E.
And
It
how
ain't
people
good.
are
That's
trying to
not
do
good.
something. It won't too long ago where UAB didn't have a program and some independent investors got together and put together a program to bring UAB's football program back. So things are being done. The things that Dion did, taking no salary
Right.
or very little salary to go to Jackson State to get them new facilities built, to get them to where they can kind of compete at least among the HBCUs, they'll still be among the top. So it is being done, but it's going to take time and a lot more people like Dion and those independent investors that put into UAB's program.
gotcha.
That's the thing. You should like ain't a whole lot more people like Dion out there though, is what I'm saying.
And
It ain't.
look, and
But it
Just
did
my
Dion
open a
don't
opinion,
lot of
know
eyes.
either.
you
It
know.
did bring a lot of attention.
He did bring a lot of attention, but who talks about Jackson State now?
No, because not only he brought the attention and then took the players that brought him the attention with him to Colorado. So
And he took all the social
And they
media
gonna
and
be
the dancing, the music, and everything. Don't,
yeah,
don't, 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 don't. Ain't nothing. Don't, don't. Where my theme music? Don't. You know what I'm saying? He took all that with him. Yeah, but
He
hey, he
did.
did leave him
woo,
with a nice facility. But the
that
problem,
yo, but
yeah,
that's a
but
head
Tony,
start.
yeah, not with no. 10 years from now, that jank might be run down or something.
Right. But imagine where some of the other HBCUs
If they keep
current
it up,
ones will be 10
if
years from now.
if they keep it up, they ain't got to worry about it being torn down. If they keep it up,
If
go along with the years. Whatever needs to be fixed, make sure it's done. If they keep it up,
if
it
they
should
keep it
stay the
up.
way it should. It should stay that way. They got to keep it up.
Man, listen, Jackson
I
State
see you, Bishop.
don't
I see.
nobody talk. Don't nobody talk about Jackson State no more. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be funny, but I mean, who talks about Jackson State? I don't see nothing
Well,
nowhere.
he
At
just
one
left
time,
though.
huh?
He just left
Well,
though. He
football
just
season
left.
gone now, Bishop.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
just left.
that
They
means he
just
just left. They mean we should
If
still be talking about.
no. If Jackson State start winning games again this year, we gonna talk about them. But we still
we're
gonna
gonna
be
be
talking
talking
about
about them,
look
No,
at
we
what
not.
Dion
We
built.
know we not.
They're gonna be
No, we
they're gonna be
not.
like, look at what
That's
Dion built.
exactly what
No, we
look
not.
what Dion did.
Look, no, we not. If
What
Jackson State
Dion
is
did
doing
was
well, that won't make no sports talk show, but in Jackson State somewhere.
yes, it will. Yes, it will, Bishop.
No, it won't.
Since Dion left, they're gonna say, "Uh oh, the program is still doing well. Dion Sanders is gone."
Dion took
It's
all
you
the
know they're
good
gonna look at it
players
like that
with him.
anyway.
Dion took all the good players with him. What do you mean? I mean, Jackson
It
State,
might be
Jackson.
something that's there that's still left. Don't you think?
Well, we'll be talking about it. We'll be talking about it. Right now, we all in Colorado talking about. I'm bringing it my baggage with me. You know,
Yo,
we
he ain't had to say that though. I'm bringing my luggage, not
I'm
baggage.
bringing my
Baggage is
luggage.
negative.
I'm
The
bringing my
luggage.
luggage with me. I got my luggage with me. Y'all need to go ahead and get in the portal. You know, that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm with him. You know, God bless him.
No,
You know, I
he
want him to
went
do
there
well.
and told them y'all should probably get in the portal too. His current players, he was like, "Hey, yeah, y'all should probably go ahead
And
and
a
get in the
lot of
portal."
them did. A lot of them did. I'm like, man,
I
gee
mean, he
whiz.
made it so he
Well, I
made it
get it.
so that they leave. You know what I'm saying? That was his intention. Some of the people he didn't want there to leave, but I'm just saying, this was the first time I heard something about Jackson State since about 2 months after he left. Is what we just talked about. That, at one time, I couldn't get on my feed. I couldn't go through without hearing something on Jackson
Right.
State.
Because it was never about Jackson State. It was always about Dion. But what I'm saying is if Jackson State continues to win, it'll still be about Dion. They'll be like, look at what
Jackson's,
Dion
yeah.
was able to do and build up or whatever. So people are going to talk about it. They just got to win.
Right, got you. All right,
That's what it is right there. They got to win.
they got to win. Well, we'll see. We'll see about it. Well, that was a good question. We appreciate them put that in there about the college athletes doing it. But Tony, I'd like to put that pressure on the 18-year-old. I think more of the pressure should be put on them guys who retired from football, like Dion, like Ed Reed, that can go back to these schools and bring some
Absolutely.
notoriety.
Yeah, but you
Right.
saw what Ed Reed did. Ed Reed got fired for pointing out that they were doing wrong. And so the problem is we got to get our house in order on the administration at these HBCUs because honestly, man, it's just some people who are either incompetent or just crooked. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's like running these spaces, and so that part has to get in order because Ed Reed can come in there, but if the administration ain't right, or if they're trying to build the rest of the school off the backs
It
of a
ain't
name
gonna
like
matter.
Ed Reed, it's not gonna matter.
Got you. All
Not
right.
gonna
Well,
matter.
great conversation, man. We had a good show today. We had great conversation, great back and forth. We see y'all next Tuesday night, 9:00. Any last words for you guys before we cut out?
Yeah, we ain't gonna be talking about James Harden next week.
If
Yeah.
James Harden punched Moore in the face, we are.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to
we can
that.
talk
Hey,
about that.
I want to see that.
we ain't gonna talk about it. But if we catch them at a restaurant fighting, we gonna be talking about them.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what you can bring up next week for all the
Yeah.
boxing fans? Tank Davis said he want Bud to stay so he can come up and fight him.
Tank need to stay where he at, man. Tank a small boy. He need to stay where he at, man. Leave Bud alone. Let Bud go up there and get that Chamelo, what is his name?
Jamel Charlo.
Jamel Charlo. Let him go get Jamel. And he talking about fighting Canelo. Bud need to stay away from that too. Canelo is just heavy, man. They talking about that a catch weight.
And
That's a
yeah,
big boy,
but
man.
hey, but guess what? I saw what you can talk about here, big boy. I just watched the fight today what Floyd Mayweather did to him, and he was a big boy then too. So
Yeah, but
a good.
he was a baby then though.
No, he wasn't a baby. This one that long ago. As a
This
matter of
won't
fact, he
that
was a
long
title
ago.
contender.
This
No,
won't
no,
that
I'm
long
saying
ago.
no.
That
I'm
might have
talking
been
about as far.
how long ago he fought him? Got to be at least 10 years, ain't it?
Yeah, but he wasn't a baby.
10
He
years.
had
10
one.
years is a
He was
long
like
time, Tony.
he was like 20 something and 0 or 20 something and 1 or and 0.
That don't mean nothing. You could be
He
Mike Tyson was
he he made
20 and 0 at 19.
he made Canelo look bad though.
Yeah,
Canelo couldn't hit him.
and that's what I'm saying. A
Canelo
good
couldn't hit him.
boxer would
But
do.
he made a lot
As
of
a
people
matter of
look bad.
fact, that's what happened to Canelo in his last fight that he lost. He couldn't hit him. That's why Charlo has a chance
Yeah.
because Charlo can box.
Man, Tank, listen, man. Tank cannot beat Bud, man.
Whoa! Oh my goodness! Come on, man.
Tank he cannot beat Bud. He can move up.
Come.
He ain't ready for that yet, man.
Really, to be honest,
He ain't
Bud
ready for
has
that, man.
flown under the radar.
Yeah, no, because he was getting ducked. He upset somebody from Showtime, and they blackballed him. It was HBO at the time, and they blackballed him. He could never get on these big fights, so he had to go to Top Rank, and nobody would fight him, which is why he couldn't get any belts.
Well,
So
he controlled the cards now.
he control all the
He
cards now.
controlled the cards, and he saying
All of them.
he
All
don't
of them.
want Boots Ennis. He say, look, that dude, that's a no-win situation. He want big money fights. They can
Right,
do
that
35.
is.
He got to get all of his big money fights in the next
Do the
Right,
few
same
years.
Bishop.
thing Floyd did.
Yeah.
He got to do the same thing
Yeah.
Floyd did. So, and right now, Ennis ain't the Pacquiao fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though Ennis is that dude, he ain't that dude as far as that name.
Name
So,
recognition.
if
No.
you put him here, it'll be a great fight, but it ain't gonna do the numbers like Floyd and Pacquiao. So that's what Bud looking for now. He was like, "Hey man, let Floyd come out. I get down and wait. Let's make a big money. I want that 300 million. That's what I."
Man, I ain't gonna
I
say
don't
he'll
blame
punish
him.
him. He'll beat Floyd though.
Oh, he'll beat Floyd. He'll beat Floyd
He'll
bad.
beat Floyd.
He'll beat
It'll be on
Floyd.
points though.
Yeah, he'll destroy
Floyd is
Floyd.
old though. No, but Floyd is actually old now. I'm not saying he would destroy
Oh, right.
Floyd in his
Yo,
prime, but right now he would beat Floyd down. He would beat him bad.
Yeah, that'd be a bad move.
Yeah, I seen Floyd grandson land some punches in a couple videos. All right, look, fellas, we appreciate y'all for being on. We see y'all next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. For Sports Talk Unfiltered. Peace out.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, fellas.
Deuces.